Hello, a very good day to everyone. Okay, I am Madam Sulastri binti Zahari. Welcome to this MUET Prep slot for listening. And I will be handling for MUET listening paper. Okay, so before we move further to tips and guides on how to answer MUET listening paper, let us take a look at the question paper itself. Okay, so first of all, okay, MUET listening paper, the duration of the test is 50 minutes. And there will be number of questions of 30. Okay, these 30 questions, okay, come from 5 parts. Okay, 5 parts, part 1 until part 5. Alright, part 1, there will be 7 questions. Okay, with A, B, C options or 3 options. Part 2, also 7 questions of 3 options of answers. Part 3, there will be 3 questions. Okay, 3 questions of 5 options. Okay, A, B, C, D, and E. So there are 2 options you do not need to use. Okay, part 4 again, it will be 7 questions of 3 options of answers. And lastly, part 5. Part 5, there will be 6 questions of 3 options. 3 recordings. Okay, there will be 3 recordings here in this part. So 1 recording or the audio text will be followed by 2 questions. Okay, next, each recording will be played twice. Okay, so you need to know that each recording will be played twice. Okay, there will be intervals for each audio text played. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, you are going to listen to the text twice. Alright, okay, so time is given to read the questions when the test begins. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, you have enough time to read the questions. Alright, so during the test time, you have to answer as you listen. Okay, you have to answer as you listen. Indicate answers in the answer sheet given to you. So together with your question paper, there will be OMR paper. Okay, so you have to answer or give or shade your answer in this OMR paper. Okay, so if there is anything that you would like to ask, okay, regarding the paper itself, you should ask before the test start. Okay, because you are strictly not allowed to speak during the test. Okay, it will be distracting. It distract the procession of the test itself. Alright, so again, as you listen to the text or to the recording or to the audio text, you have to choose the correct answers. Okay, so the 5 parts that I mentioned earlier, okay, you have to know that for part 1, for part 2, and for part 4, you are given 30 seconds. Okay, you are given 30 seconds to look at the questions. And for part 3 and 5, you are given 15 seconds, okay, to look at the questions. Okay, so this is the time where you spend your time to understand, okay, to get the gist of ideas of what the questions or what the audio text will be about. Alright, okay, so you also need to know the flow during the exam day itself. Okay, so when you go for your exam day, for your MUET exam day, okay, you sit for 3 papers. Okay, so the first paper is reading, right? So the first thing that you sit for that day, okay, will be the reading paper. So you spend about 75 minutes there. Okay, 75 minutes there. So after you have done with the first paper which is reading, okay, you will have a short break, and then second paper will be writing, and here you spend about 75 minutes, okay, on your writing paper. And after you have done with your writing paper, okay, there will be a break as well, and your last paper will be your listening paper. Okay, your last paper of that day will be your listening paper. So for your listening paper, I mentioned earlier, okay, you took about 50 minutes. Okay, the test took 50 minutes. Alright, so it is the last paper of your day. Okay, so what about the test format? Okay, most of the things about the test format, okay, you can get the information in the textbook, in your MUET textbook that you bought. Alright, so most of it are there. Okay, most of the information about most of the information that you need to know about the test format will be there. So what can I share is what are the possible genres that you are going to see or to listen to, I mean, during the listening test. Okay, so most possible genres will be, of course, conversation. Okay, you may listen to conversation, discussion, alright, interviews, briefing. Okay, you are going to listen to announcement, advertisement, talks, right? Or maybe listen to instructions, news items, documentaries, or meetings. Alright, so there will be short text and there will be long text. Alright, so the length of audio text will be about 250 to 700 words. Alright, so what is actually the test focus? Okay, so here you are going to be tested on your ability to understand a few things. Okay, your ability to understand simple phrases. Okay, your ability to understand general and specific information. Okay, understanding main ideas in standard and in complex speech, and also your ability to understand familiar and unfamiliar topics, or understanding idiomatic expressions, colloquial, and lots more variations of language use. Okay, other than those test focus, okay, you also will be tested on your ability to follow complex lines, okay, complex lines of argument, abstract topic, whether it is outside your field of study or inside your field of study, and your ability to follow implied messages, and those are all in extended speech. Alright, so I guess enough. Okay, I guess enough with the question paper and the procession of the test itself during the exam day. Okay, so now let's start with some tips to do well, okay, or to score this MUET listening paper. Okay, so ready everyone? Alright, first, okay, during the exam day itself, okay, once you have received the question paper, okay, you have set for the exam, okay, but before you listen to the audio for the first time, okay, so it will be the, okay, I can call it pre-listening stage, or the step or the stage before you start listening to the recordings or the audio text itself. Alright, so please follow these tips. First, of course, you have to read the instruction. Okay, before the question, there will be instruction. Okay, so you have to read the instruction. Why it is important to read these rubrics? Because they give you information on the setting, on the context. Okay, and then once you have read the instruction or the rubrics, second, read the question and answer options, the A, B, C. Okay, not to read carefully yet. Okay, just read quickly. Okay, so you have to do this quickly because it gives you a general idea of the recording that you are going to listen to. Okay, so read the question and the options of answers quickly. And then, if possible, if time still permit, okay, highlight the keywords or underline the keywords in the question. Why? Okay, why you need to highlight or why you need to underline this keyword? Because it helps you to know what to listen for during the recordings, okay, or when you listen to the audio text. All right. Okay, so that's the stage where you are about to listen to the audio. Okay, so next is during the first time of the listening. Okay, when the audio text or when the recordings is played for the first time. So what is the first tips? Right, of course. Okay, when it is listening, okay, so you have to be all ears. Okay, pay attention, focus. Okay, so you have to listen to specific information. Okay, what the speakers is talking about. Okay, so it helps you to get the answers, and other than helps you to get what will be the possible answers to the questions given. Okay, this listening process, okay, allow you to know the flow of information, okay, the flow of information and how the speaker delivers the content. Okay, next you have to check each possible answer options. All right, so remember that some of the answers given, okay, some of them are most likely paraphrased. It means what you listen from the audio text, not necessarily transferred straightforwardly in the question or in the options of answer itself. Okay, so some of them are paraphrased. So this is why you have to listen carefully. Okay, so you have to have the ability to know, okay, what the paraphrase part in the questions or in the options of answers compared to the recordings or the audio text that you are listening to. So next is you have to choose the most suitable answers. Okay, so once you have done answering all the questions during the first time of listening to the audio text. Okay, so what you need to do when you listen to the audio for the second time. Okay, so from the first time the audio is played or the recording is played to the second time the audio or the recording is played, there will be intervals. So don't worry, you have time, okay, to judge or to decide, to determine, okay, your answers that you have attempted for the first time. Okay, so during your second listening, okay, so what you need to do during the second listening, okay, you have to get the missing answers. This is the time where you have to attempt to the questions that you missed during the first time just now. Okay, so you have to listen for the information that you miss. Again, still you need to note down information wherever possible here so that you can compare, okay, your answers with what information that you're able to get from the recording or audio text that you are listening to. And finally, okay, check all answers. Okay, make sure you have attempted all answers. You have answered all questions. Okay, so what you need to do. Okay, so what you need to do when the topic that you listen to, when the recordings or the topic or the audio played are something that is unfamiliar, when the topics is something that you are not used to, when you are listening to unfamiliar topics, right? Of course, okay, MUET listening, they covers a wide spectrum of topics. Okay, so it may range from something like financial awareness, science, technology, health, environment, and so on. Okay, so again, okay, when you notice that the topics that you listen to are something that you are quite unfamiliar, again, you still need to read the rubrics. Okay, what it is important there in the rubrics itself, all right, because they give you information of the setting. Okay, the information of the setting and the context of the question itself. Okay, because in the rubrics, okay, you are going to get information something like listen to a talk by a nurse talking about her experiences as a surgical nurse. So you already have the context. So it's going to be a talk about what? Alright? Okay, and yes, when it is unfamiliar topic, the question itself give you the ideas. Okay, so when you read the questions, before you start answering, it help you anticipating what you are going to listen to. Okay, oh, you can guess, oh, this is going to be the topic. Alright, so hopefully, when it is something that you feel that it is difficult topic, okay, you pay more attention. Okay, and you have to focus on what the writers say. Okay, focus on the speaker's words. All right, focus on the speaker's word because the speaker will often share the linking words. Okay, without you realize. Okay, the speaker will often drop the linking words and they may also outline what they are talking about. Okay, so focus on the words given by the speakers. Okay, so next is imagine yourself. Okay, you have to imagine yourself in that situation. Okay, you have to imagine yourself in that situation. You have to ask yourself, okay, what is the speakers is trying to say? Okay, what is the speakers is trying to say? So you put yourself in that situation. Okay, and lastly, okay, you have to note the order of the content. You have to identify, okay, you have to notice, you have to able to notice, okay, the sequence of the contents, because normally, okay, the order of the question usually follows the recordings sequence. Okay, what I mean here is normally, okay, for question 1, for example, normally information that you can get for questions 1, okay, will found in the beginning of the recording or in the beginning of the audio text, okay, not the end. Okay, so it is following the sequence accordingly. Okay, so this is something that you have to know also. Alright, so those are the example on how to tackle, okay, when you came across something that you are not familiar. Okay, so bear in mind, yes, you have to pay attention to what the speakers say and try to put yourself in the situation. And again, you need to know that the sequence, okay, the sequence will be in order. Okay, the sequence of questions that appear, okay, will follow the order of the audio itself. Okay, the first question, normally the information lies in the beginning of the recordings or the audio text, okay, and goes towards the end. All right, next, okay, while you still have times, when you still have time after you have attempted all the questions, before you pass your before you submit or before you end, before you are towards the end of the exam test itself, okay, don't worry, okay, don't panic much. You have to not to worry much if you miss out a word or two. Okay, because during the second time of the listening, you can catch up on your misinformation while checking your answers. Okay, so you have to be smart here. Okay, make sure you don't miss any question. Okay, make sure you have answered answered all the questions given to you. All right, so finally, okay, what you have to get yourself prepared with is make sure you screen out the distraction during the test day. Okay, when you are sitting for your listening test, okay, make sure you really listening attentively. Okay, screen out any distraction. If happen that you see someone passing by or cats passing by, okay, don't look. Okay, listen carefully and just look at your question paper. Okay, avoid the distraction. Avoid any distraction during that day. Okay, and one more thing, if you have to maintain your active body state, okay, make sure you have enough water, okay, that you can drink during the day. Make sure the night before the test you have enough sleep so that you can maintain this active body state, so that your brain will be able to focus and you can listen attentively for this listening test, because it is the third question paper, the third test of your day. Okay, it is almost afternoon already. Okay, you are almost draining of energy, so it is important to maintain your active body state. You have to drink enough water as well. All right, so while you still have these times, okay, while you still have time to practice for listening test before your actual day, okay, so your date is 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, right, next week. Okay, so before this week, these final weeks, during these final weeks, what you can get yourself ready with, okay, what preparation that you can do, okay, to ace yourself for MUET listening test. Okay, so here are some tips. Right, so of course, because you have the MUET textbook itself, okay, I believe everyone have the MUET textbook. Okay, if you don't have it, let's say, okay, if you don't have the textbook, Okay, I don't think so. Everyone have it. Okay, you have information, you have sources from the online itself. Don't worry. All right. So here are a few things or tips to do well. Okay. Your final practice that you can do for listening. All right. So first, of course, when you do the listening practice, you have to try to identify your listening weaknesses, and you have, for this final time, you try to work on improving those areas. Okay. So yes, of course. Okay, when you want to improve, of course, you have to practice listening to the audio. Okay, to the recordings. Okay, you have to practice doing so. Okay, next is try to find audios where the speakers are from the English native speakers. Okay, why do I say so? Because, okay, during the real MUET exam paper, okay, you will come across audio text that is played, okay, where the speakers are from the native speakers or English native speakers. Okay, so some of the accent, okay, you might not familiar too. Okay, so you are going to listen to a very unfamiliar accent. So try to find audios that came from English native speakers. All right, and you also need to practice different types of listening genres or the listening situation. Okay, try to practice listening to lectures, conversation, chatting, announcement, and so on. All right, so don't forget to do or to attempt all the exercises in the textbook that you have. Okay, so if you attempt all those listening activities that provided there in the textbook, okay, to me it is enough already. All right, and to get yourself familiar with conversation from English native speakers, okay, I can suggest you to listen to a few podcasts that are available online. Okay, so try to listen to podcasts itself. Okay, try to choose variety of topics that covers latest topics or current issues. Okay, so I guess that is all that I can share with you regarding your final preparation or your prep. Okay, before you sit for the real test or before you sit for the real situation of MUET listening test next week. So I hope everyone can do well during the exam test day. So I would like to end my sharing here with a wish that says you have what it takes to succeed. A brain, talents, okay, and people who believe in you. So do what it takes. Okay, so good luck, everyone. Wishing you all the best for your MUET. Okay, have a nice day.